Cubase 9.5 comes with, drumroll please, Bezier automation curves, and they're really easy to use. Let me show you how to do that now by going to this project that I have with an organ track in it, and let's click on the Show Hide Automation button to reveal the lane for volume. And then I'm going to draw in a very simple audio volume change. So I'm going to click on that automation line, which had no automation on it before. So this is my first automation event. Then I'm going to click another event on there, and I'm going to lower the volume slightly. But now, look at this little button in between both of those points. That's the Bezier curve. And with that, you can now change the rate at which the volume fades in and out. So many people have been asking for this, including myself. It's really nice to see Steinberg add this to Cubase now. So if you wanted a nice exponential fade out like this, you could drag that Bezier curve down there, and now the automation sounds like this. Nice progressive fade down, which is nice. And another thing that you can do is adjust the overall curve with a little diamond at the top. So you can move that entire automation range for the curve up and down. And speaking of range adjustments, there's now a way to select a range from inside of the automation lane with the range selection tool. And you can call up the range selection tool a whole bunch of different ways. If you're already in the automation lane, the easiest way is to either type the number 2 key on the upper row of numeric keys, which corresponds to the toolbar up here. So if you type 2, you see the range selection tool work. Or you can right or control click on the lane itself and choose the range selection tool. And here you can say, well, I want to do some automation in this range. And now you see you have all of those different automation options here. And if you move the automation up and down, it creates points for you automatically. And then you can change the tilt of the automation. And since every single automation range will have its own Bezier curve, when you come back to the normal tool, here's the Bezier curve. So you could make that one a little bit more exponential or a little bit more logarithmic. And by using that range select tool, it makes it really easy to copy automation effects. So if you hold down the Alt or Option key and then click and drag that range, then it will copy the automation. It'll copy it as many times as you drag it over. And the last thing they've done is make the Bezier curves match the VCA curves so that you don't have to change the shapes when you add a VCA fader track to a track that has automation on it. So let's do that now by selecting this track. This is track number 49. I'm going to come to the mixer here and find channel 49 right here. I'm going to right or control click on that and then choose, kind of down here towards the bottom, add VCA fader to selected channels. So that will give me a VCA fader right here for that channel. And now if I make any sort of automation changes on the VCA fader, watch what happens to the Bezier curves. I'm going to add a couple of points there and then drag one of the points down. Actually, I'll get rid of that one. So now see how the Bezier curves are maintained in the original track, but the VCA fader allows those Bezier curves to still track with their original shapes. So you don't have to reconfigure the VCA fader to do the same sort of Bezier curves that are on the original master track. So those are the new additions to the automation curves. Next, let's talk about Adapt to Zoom.